My name's Thor. I'm the independent candidate for Dixon.
In this video, I interview a survivor of sexual abuse perpetrated by Kevin Lynch at Brisbane Grammar and St Paul's schools. He has asked for my help to raise awareness about his petition on change.org. He is petitioning the Australian Royal Commission into institutional responses to child sexual abuse to call Peter Dutton and others to testify in Sex Abuse Case Study 34. He speaks from the heart about his experiences and the lack of closure that he and the other survivors are still experiencing, and is hoping that Peter Dutton, Cheryl Curnow and others will come forward with any information that may help them move on with their lives. He goes by the pseudonym of Lynch Victim. His voice has been disguised. You are one of the many survivors of sexual abuse in the Royal Commission, Case Study 34. Your identity is protected. What are your memories of sexual abuse?
Daily flashbacks of the abuse with certain triggers: a sound, a smell, a voice, a picture.
What is your main memory?
The smell of baby oil and the images of brown towels in preparation for sexual abuse.
So, how do you feel?
Guilty, shameful, dirty, unloved. At times very anxious and suicidal, when nobody, including my family, takes the time to listen, understand, and take my concerns extremely seriously. Everyone says I should move on and not to dig up the past. It is easy for someone who has not been sexually abused to brush things off as if it was nothing. The whole issue of trust has been broken. Kevin Lynch was a counsellor, and survivors went to him for help and trusted him. Survivors do not trust anyone anymore. This includes anyone in a position of authority and public trust.
Very few survivors told anyone about the abuse at the time. It is many years and now decades. So why didn't survivors tell anyone?
Back in the 1980s, the Fitzgerald Inquiry broke all public trust in Queensland Police and authority. There was absolutely no one to turn to.
And how are the survivors now?
Not very well. There's been multiple suicides, mental health problems, drug abuse, lack of employment and income, social isolation from family and friends, and life has absolutely been shattered.
What makes the survivors want to speak out now?
While there has been a Royal Commission hearing in Case Study 34, the issues are highly complex, and survivors have only recently been able to review information that has previously been withheld. Since the recent publication of some information, survivors would like new information considered and new witnesses called by the Royal Commission. We are petitioning for a second Royal Commission hearing in Case 34 on change.org. Survivors extend an open invitation to anyone who may have information, no matter how insignificant it may appear, to now come forward.
What do the survivors want?
The process of reconciliation and closure needs to be underpinned by truth and justice in order for survivors to rest in peace and put all the darkness to bed and restore a sense of normality to lives we should have enjoyed. The MP, Peter Dutton, attended the Brisbane School St Paul's in the 1980s and went on to become a Queensland police officer in the specialist area of sex crimes in the 1990s. He had an unblemished employment record and was a highly regarded police investigator with exemplary skills and intimate knowledge in searching the truth and justice using a wide network of informants. As an influential politician, Peter Dutton has the capacity to help survivors in Royal Commission Case Study 34 fill in many of the blanks by submitting a statement to the Royal Commission. Survivors would like Peter Dutton and the Royal Commission to work collaboratively with survivors in reviewing information, no matter how insignificant it may initially appear. More detail of our petition for a second hearing in Case Study 34 can be viewed on change.org.
I appreciate it is hard for survivors to come forward and publicly speak up. On behalf of the Australian community, truth and reconciliation should be at the heart and forefront of our minds in supporting survivors overcome trauma. As an independent candidate standing in Peter Dutton's seat of Dixon, I extend an open invitation to Peter Dutton to meet privately with survivors and to submit a statement to the Royal Commission, and for the Royal Commission to call the second hearing survivors are petitioning for. Also, in the 2001 election campaign, Cheryl Kernot made allegations about Peter Dutton. However, the public never got to hear what these were because Kim Beazley, the Labor leader at the time, silenced her. If any of these allegations were associated with police matters related to Case Study 34, or any of the other cases that have been heard by the Royal Commission, then I also invite Cheryl Kernot to meet privately with survivors and to submit a statement to the Royal Commission. I say that these are matters that are of importance to the voting public in the seat of Dixon.